Hi, my name's Greg Stier, and God has given me the privilege for the last 25 years or so to travel the nation and equip teenagers to share their faith and youth leaders to build ministries that advance the gospel. And boy, that's what I see in the eyes of youth leaders across the nation. They have this passion to see the gospel get out, but they also have a passion for discipleship. And sometimes that's where the conflict is, because they think, which comes first? And oftentimes, youth leaders tend to think, well, if I disciple my students enough, if I give them enough teaching in Sunday school and small group and youth group, then maybe they'll share their faith. The problem is that usually doesn't happen. Actually, we like to flip it at Dare to Share. We believe that if your students are involved in sharing the good news of the gospel of Jesus Christ, they're going to grow in their faith faster than any curriculum you can take them through. You know, I can't help but think of a guy named Nathan. He was a youth leader, been in youth ministry for 12 years. Just a week and a half ago, he came to our conference in San Diego, and I was doing a youth leader training, and he was skeptical. He kind of came at the invitation of a friend, but he thought, evangelism's good. I believe in sharing the gospel, but we need to really make sure we disciple our students first. And I kind of presented this idea that when you get your students sharing their faith, they're going to grow deeper in their faith faster than anything. Well, he began to see that actually unfold in the context of his life and his youth ministry. Sent us an email. We got it just this week. I'll just go right to the middle of it, talking about the training. But Greg Stier was talking about kids sharing their faith, and honestly, it made me nervous. I remember thinking, what about discipleship? And then, as if on cue, Greg said from the stage, if you're concerned about discipleship, ... So he had my attention. The idea was that students, and really just people, could share their faith knowing just the basics, and that experience of sharing the gospel would motivate them to grow in their faith with passion. This is the idea that was transformative to the way I approach ministry. It was such a shift for me that it actually gave me a small headache and drove me to prayer. I love that line. Now, I'm totally committed to the cause. I'm consumed with the desire to see our youth group change from a place of education to practice. I will not rest until I see this fire in the eyes of our youth, and then we're going to ignite the rest of our church. Youth leader in Southern California that got it. Evangelism accelerates the discipleship process. When you get your students sharing the gospel, advancing the gospel, it's going to advance not just externally, it's going to advance in their own hearts, and they're going to own their faith long term. I want to challenge you. Join us in this journey. Build a gospel advancing ministry. And if you want to see the perfect example, maybe not the perfect example, the book of Acts. It's a great example because it unfolds what it looks like for a group of believers to take the gospel and advance it from Jerusalem to Judea, Samaria, to the uttermost parts of the earth. Well, you know what? I don't believe the book of Acts ends in Acts 28. I believe we are the 29th chapter of the book of Acts, and that God wants to see a revival blow across this nation, blow across this world like never before. And I'm convinced our teenagers are the ones to lead it. And I believe you're the one to lead them in this process. So I challenge you, join us in this journey to build and pursue a gospel advancing ministry, and God will do amazing